my next step is to look at my photographs. So I've gone into my folder that's June. I've made a folder for Week in the Life, and I've transferred all the photographs into individual files for each day of the week from Week in the Life. So I've got a folder here that's just full of all the photos I took on Monday. So have a look at Monday here. That's Monday. And then I start selecting photographs that I think I might want to use in my album. So I click on them and bring them into the photo bin on Photoshop Elements. So I've got them all in here. You can either click and drag, or sometimes I have to copy them to the clipboard and then bring them in off the clipboard. But I've got them all lined up down here. These are the ones I think I want to use. So now to work out where I want to put them. So to start with, I think that I want to make some sort of, let's just shut this down here and show you how I did it from the start. So I'm going to make a picture of all the food we ate on that day, and I'm going to make it so that it can sit on each one of these pieces of this notebook from the kit from a few years ago. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you how I made this template and how I put the photos in there. So the first thing I do is go File, New, Blank File, and I want a background that is photo 6x4 portrait. Okay. I print on a selfie printer here in the UK. We don't have another option, so I just print on this selfie. So now I'm going to make a new blank of the size that I want, that I know fits in here. So I wrote it down on this sheet of paper. It's 3 by 1 3/4 for the food sheet. So I go into here, I've got a 3 by 4, so I can click on that. The 3 is okay for the width, but I want 1.75 for the height, and then I click OK. So this is the size that those photos will be. I don't want to slide it onto the white background and lose it, so I'm just going to go to my colour palette here, click on any colour, click OK, and then I'm going to go to my paint bucket and fill it so that it's a colour. And then what I do is I get the white 6x4 background, I click on this and slide it up here, and I can see it. So this is my this is my size that I know is going to fit on here. So I'm going to print 3 photos for breakfast, lunch and dinner that will fit on there. So I'll go back over here and get my move tool and move it up to the top. I know I can fit 3 on this 6x4, so I'm going to go across to my layers palette and right click and duplicate that layer and click OK, and it'll have put one on top of the other, so I slide it down so I can see it, and then I'll do that process again, duplicate layer, OK, and now I've got 3. So now I can pull up, doesn't matter what the gap is between these because I'm cutting them out. Just don't get them too near the top and bottom, or the selfie might cut them off. So now I can pull out the photos that are to do with food from my photo bin. So here, for instance, I put that above the top one, and then I just get hold of the corner and click and hold it and make it a bit smaller on both sides. And then I click the check mark OK, and then to make it jump into that coloured box template, I go over here to the layers palette, I right click and click create clipping mask, and as long as that photo is above the box you want it to be in. As soon as you click on create clipping mask, I'll show you it jumps inside that coloured box. Then you can still play with it. If you're not happy with where it is, you can still get hold of it and move it about, and it'll show you it stays within that box. If I wanted to put another photo in that box as well, I can sort of shuffle this over to this side, like that. Just make sure it's sitting inside there. Click the checkbox. And then I go to my photo bin and bring in another photo and put it up there. Comes in big, but it doesn't matter. I can get hold of the corner and proportionately size it down and bring it to where you want it roughly, and click the checkbox, and then check that that is above that box and right click it, create clipping mask, and it jumps in there as well. So you can then play about with exactly where you want them to be. So I've got 2 photos in there now about my breakfast. So go ahead, do the same for lunch and dinner, or dinner and tea as we say here, and then you end up with your photos. So I've now got 3 photos that are exactly the right size, that when I cut them out I can put them on here, and I can do that for every day of the week.